Good morning, good evening, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. I am Tim, back for the final time this season for the GP3 series for the Speed Force Racing League with my co-commentator, as always, Tom. How are you doing, and are you ready to crown a champion?
Dead ready, mate. Dead ready. It's been one hell of a season. Different winners. Plenty of battles, plenty of incidents on and off the track, but it's been an enjoyable journey throughout the entirety of the season. But yeah, one more race to go, and it comes down to two drivers. So see what happens.
That it does. So for those of you who may not remember, Rage Hunter has actually won the last two races, while his teammate has finished second to him in both of them. The last win for Calvin was the United States Grand Prix, which was 3 races ago. In that race, Rage Hunter finished third. So these guys have pretty much been trading wins and podiums all season long, and now in Abu Dhabi, they are separated by only 4 points. Rage Hunter has 369. Calvin has 365. It is a little bit more than just finishing ahead of your teammate in this race, but you have to finish ahead of your teammate and then some. If Rage Hunter does not score points, Calvin needs to finish somewhere around 6th place, give or take. Otherwise, he's going to have to beat he's going to have to outscore Rage Hunter one way or another by 4 points. So if Rage Hunter wins this race, then
he's champion.
Yeah, it's all done. He is the champion. If Calvin wins the race, then actually, yeah, if Calvin wins the race, then he would be champion because it's only 4 points, and you get 18 points for second place. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, and 25 points for the win. So pretty much whoever wins the race is going to be champion as long as it's one of those Haas drivers. If it's not one of those Haas drivers, then a lot of math is going to be involved, and that's above my pay grade.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, it's going to be one hell of a dramatic conclusion regardless of how it ends. But looking at the track, and I think I sense a Simon Palmer in the Force, who is the first one about to start his flying lap of the session. Well, his first flying lap of the session, that is. But anyway.
Simon Palmer, the first driver to take the green flag. Let's see what he can do. We'll ride on board with him for the entirety of this lap, give you a nice view of this racetrack. This is a very fast section. This first section looks like that Simon was actually wide open through all those corners. Might have lifted the throttle just a little bit, and then a very heavy braking zone here. A little bit of a chicane there. Purple in the first sector, but that's to be expected. Then you get pretty much a hairpin corner here, and then you can just go flat out down this straightaway. You've got a nice DRS zone coming up now. And he activates it. That rear wing, you know, is wide open. And there's going to be a lot of overtaking opportunities happen in this race right here. But then you have to slow way down for this braking zone here. It's almost a hairpin, pretty much a very big chicane here. And now you're in the second sector. And another DRS zone here. Be very careful, though, because that little turn, that little kink, can really turn that car around when you have the lesser downforce due to the DRS being open. Then another little bit of a chicane here. That's a very fast section. You can pretty much make a straight line through there like you saw Simon Palmer try to do, using every bit of curve that he can. And then coming up to this next corner, right at, I think that's a hotel. This is the worst corner for me because you have to slow way down, and it's so easy to make a mistake and spin around. And then the third and final sector here, and this is pretty much just as you see it. It's fairly simple, fairly easy, but, well, don't tell the drivers that because they'll disagree with you. It's not easy at all.
No, it's not. No, I think a few parts that of the track I would like to point out that you need to be really careful with is going into that right through the first what's it called? Before it was that sweeping right-hander before the end of sector 1, because if you're not careful and you end up taking the wrong line, it's going to swallow you up, and it'll potentially end you with you being it's going to result in you ending up in the wall.
So, Tom, I want to ask you, since you are a driver in SFR, these two drivers that are going for a championship, they're teammates. So this isn't just racing your competitor. You're racing your teammate, and you're racing your friend, because Rage Hunter and Calvin, they are actually really good friends. So what do you think is going through their mind, and what is your stance on them racing each other? You know, like what happens? Where do you draw the line as far as giving each other room?
That is a tough one, if I'm being brutally honest. I think the reason being is, like, obviously you don't want to be overly aggressive, but they have a championship to fight for, so they're going to have to do everything they literally can to do what they feel is right, and to just stay ahead of each other, really.
Talking to Calvin and Rage last week, they pretty much just said the same thing. You know, I got to beat my teammate, I got to win. So you know where they stand on it, but I'm kind of wondering, is there going to be any fireworks? I don't expect them to get mad at each other. That's not at all what I'm saying. It's just, you know, where does it stop becoming racing your friend and start becoming, okay, you're my rival right now. For these next 30 laps, you're my rival.
To be honest, I feel like, how do I say this? If I'm being brutally honest, I think I highly doubt that it's going to end up escalating into a Hamilton-Rosberg situation. But it's going to be close. Close, I'm going to put that out there. But, yeah.
So far, it is Simon Palmer with the fastest lap, a 1:34.004. Calvin is third fastest with a 1:34.2. Second is Dr. Special Energy with a 1:34.256, just a little bit faster than Calvin. Xander in fourth, Martin fifth, Ryan Van Doom in sixth, and Vlad in seventh after what appears to be a not-so-great lap time from him. So that's obviously just a banker lap, and it's on the medium tire. So once he gets out there on softs, if he chooses to do so, we'll probably see a better lap from him. But currently watching Hookie as the Mercedes moves over for him. Hookie has not set a lap quite yet, but he's about to in this Red Bull as we ride on board with him. And let's just take a look at his racing line. It actually looks like he's taking it very easy around these corners, so this might just be a banker lap for him as well.
Maybe. But I think the thing is, it's not really, because of how hot the temperatures are around this track. You can't really afford to take it easy on your outlap. So I think realistically your best option is to just go all out and see what you can get. Suzuki goes at the fourth with a 1:34.3. So maybe tenths ahead of Xander.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good time. So maybe he wasn't really taking it easy. He was just really hitting his marks. And one thing that I've heard about racing and sitting a fast lap is, if it feels like you're going slow, you're probably actually doing it right. But if it feels like you're going fast, then you're probably overdriving the corner.
Yeah, that is true.
So we're watching the Spit Dog right now, but here in just a moment I do want to switch over to Rage Hunter. He has just now started his flying lap, but Spit Dog was first on the track, and he's in third sector now. So we'll ride on board with him before we go over to Rage Hunter. Rage Hunter, of course, as we've said, does have to beat his teammate today. His teammate currently fourth fastest with a 1:34.2, and he's on his outlap as well. So the next two cars we will watch are these Haas drivers, because they're our championship contenders, and we really do need to get a nice feel of how they're going to do in this race, because I think it was Rage Hunter that got the pole last week in Brazil. So it does not look like the Haas boys will be as dominant today as they were in Brazil, running 1-2, at least if qualifying has anything. Spit Dogging 135.005, and Ace jumps up to the board, a 133.672.
Wow, what a lap from Andreas. About under 4 tenths ahead of Simon Palmer. So really good lap from him. But we're just gonna await Calvin, wait for Rage Hunter, because we know how good his laps are gonna be, and I wouldn't surprise me if it's gonna be deadly. Yeah.
And to the pole, a 133.499 for Rage Hunter. Do you remember what I said about the Haas
invalidated.
boys not being dominant?
Yeah.
Just forget about that.
Yeah, your comments of it pretty much ages well. That just aged well, Tim. It just didn't work.
It ages like spoiled milk.
Yeah.
Not
It's
regular
like throw it
milk.
out. Go to your local grocery just to pick up some supplies and just put a glass, get a glass out, pour the milk in, just have a drink. Drink like you've won the Indy 500.
There you go. Where does
Terrible
that tradition
analogy,
come
but
from?
still. Well, it's what happens when you win it, really.
Yeah, I just don't
Jimmy
know where
Crawford did it
where
in
the
our
tradition
race
came from.
when he won. Yeah, that's what I want to know. Oh wow, Bossy Gaming is in the Ferrari for this event.
We were taking a look at him just a minute ago. Bossy Gaming actually looks like he's ahead on track than Calvin, so we'll keep an eye on him. Bossy Gaming and, of course, Oliver running, not nose to tail, but in front and behind of one another. So Bossy Gaming in the 47, Oliver in the 67, just behind him.
Yeah.
And it looks like Oliver has ran a lap, but must have been validated because he already has a lap on those soft tires. Where Bossy Gaming, this is his first flying lap. So we'll take a look at him rather than Oliver because I think Oliver's probably just wanting to go back to the pits at this point.
Yeah. Ooh, a bit scruffy from Bossy there, but here he comes across the line to pull off a 1:34.7 into P10.
And Calvin crosses the line, goes second quickest, a
second.
1:33.565.
Yeah. Calvin, I think Serge is coming in. Yep. But what a lap from Calvin. Didn't get to watch much of it, but the thing because I was keeping an eye out on other cars. But wow.
So now we have Vlad on a lap. He's in the third sector. He's on the soft tire, so I'm sure he will improve his lap time. We'll see if he's able to around the final corner. A bit of a lock up there from that right front. As he crosses the line, Vlad will go 13th quickest, a 1:35.2.
Yeah.
Looks like Xander, I think, just started a lap, or was it Cookie that started a lap? It was Cookie.
It was Hooky. But on the topic of Xander, he's coming across the final sector, a bit scruffy in that previous in that really tight right-hander, which you have to be really careful going around. Xander comes across the line, pulls off a 1:33.9, so into P4 he goes. Now back to Hooky, who's in the top 10. And he's on a fresh set of softs, so... Oh! I thought he spun that. That's gonna mess up his laps. That's gonna mess up his lap as a result. Yeah, he's turned off the ears. Who can blame him?
Yeah, but you know, honestly, if we had this award, I would say that that's a good nomination for Save of the Day.
Yeah, I agree.
And it looked like he just clipped the curb, and you know those curbs are a little bit higher than what a lot of other tracks have. So he just clipped that, and that spun him around.
Ooh, Matt Sky Adams coming into the pits. Nobody really on a lap, so I think the drivers are currently trying to looking to decide what tyres to go, decide when to go out, what tyres to put on, and just go from there.
Now, we do have the two Alfa Romeo drivers running nose to tail out here on this racetrack. Now, I'm almost wondering if maybe one of them's going to try to give the slipstream to the other, but it does now look like Jay Sarge is dropping back just a little bit to give the Slayer a little bit more room to complete his lap. So both of these drivers are about to start a flying lap.
Maybe. But yeah, I think they've both given each other a bit of room just to let off. But
and the Slayer...
Oh! J-Toss has invalidated it again!
Oh my goodness, he invalidated his out lap though. He got very lucky with that.
Still gonna count, thankfully. Thought it was gonna invalidate his lap altogether, but At least it was an outlap.
Very lucky for Jay Sarge there.
Yeah,
and, you know,
any later, that'll cook his quality.
I think Alfa Romeo really need a good race today, too, because if you remember last week, the Slayer, I think you actually picked him to have a podium in that race, and it looked like he might have been able to. But then he just had a lot of bad luck. He had, I think, wing damage on the very first lap going into the first corner, and that just killed his race after that.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, a lot went wrong for Alfa Romeo last week. Just the luck wasn't particularly there. I think. Where did they finish? Remind me. They finished. Let me look.
Meanwhile, we'll ride on board with the Slayer.
Slayer finished 9th. Slayer finished 9th, and Jay Sarge came in 4th. So it wasn't a bad point score, but I think they, to some extent, kind of underachieved last week. On the topic of Slayer, here he comes, coming out the last corner, taking a lot of curve with him. Final corner, here he comes. A 1:33.6 into P3 he goes.
Good job from
Jay
the Slayer.
Sarge in P9. Barely behind Hooky. As on the topic of the Welsh Wonder, he's coming back out on track. He's looking to go for one last run, Tim.
The Welsh Wonder?
Yep.
I like that. I love that. I am honestly ashamed that it took me this long to realize that that is his nickname, because I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good nickname. But anyway. Who's this car on track right now?
Looks like Dr. Special Energy is on a lap in the AlphaTauri, so we'll take a look at him. He is in the second sector, approaching the third sector. Purple in that second sector, but that might just be his personal best. Of course, we always have to be wary of that. But in this third sector now, as long as he can keep it clean, he should be able to at least set a timed lap. Not sure if he's going to be able to improve on his 1:34.2. He used a lot of curve there, and it looked like it might have scrubbed off a little bit of speed. Not sure if it did or not, though. He's trying to hit those apexes, and he's hit them pretty well. So this might be a good lap from Dr. Special Energy, getting so very close to the apex that time. That little, I don't know what we call it, that green traffic cone or whatever it's supposed to be. But around the final corner, Dr. Special Energy down the straightaway, across the line, 5th.
1:33.8. Very good lap from Dr. Special Energy.
Very good lap.
What a season he's had as well. I think he, along with Jay Sarge, are two of the most improved drivers of the season for me.
So it is almost time to finish this qualifying session. Just 25 seconds remaining. Calvin is on a lap. Rage Hunter is on a lap. Simon is on a lap. We're watching Simon now. We'll go ahead and take a look at Calvin here in just a minute. There is Calvin just behind Simon, actually. So we'll be able to keep an eye on Simon and Calvin as well.
Oliver's on a lap.
We'll go take a look at Oliver. He's on a lap. He needs to set a lap time. This is his last chance to do so. Rounding the final corner now. Let's see what Oliver can do. He is A-OK, no invalidation, and he goes to 11th, a 1:34.5. Good job to Oliver. We'll take a look at Calvin now as he is trying to get the pole from his teammate of Rage Hunter. That would be a tremendous boost to him if he could get the pole.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh, Calvin gets a purple sector too. Oh! I thought he was going to spin out that car then for a second.
That was close.
I know.
So Calvin in the third sector going past this hotel. Looking very fast here. So very fast is Calvin looking. Let's see what he's able to do. Oh, Xander goes second quickest, 1:33.5.
Wow, what lap by Xander. You missed that. But here comes Calvin though. Oh, across the last corner.
To the pole, a 1:33.1, but does Rage Hunter have anything left for him?
If he does, it's going to be something that's just out of this world. I'm just saying.
So on board with Rage Hunter for this final time.
Martin P4. Rookie 3 temps down.
And Rage Hunter down the straightaway. He crosses the line. Does he go pole? Yes, he does! A 1:33.145!
That was close! I think it was like 800ths of a second there. I'm not too sure.
Do we have anyone else on a lap? Ryan Van Doom, just maybe. Yes, he is on a lap, his final lap, but he is diving down into the pit, so what you see is what you get. Rage Hunter with the pole, Calvin in second, Xander in third.
What a race. More quality. Okay.
It might as well be a race. It was exciting enough to be a race.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I mean, it makes me excited for the race at least, because we never know what's actually going to happen, but...
And, you know, just how close that those times are. It is a 133.145 to Calvin's 133.157. That is 100th of a second pretty much difference. You know, there's a few thousandths there, but I'm not going to worry about that. It's 100th of a second difference. That shows why these drivers have been able to take this championship fight all the way to the final race in Abu Dhabi, because they are just so insanely fast and quick. They're consistent, and they are close. But here is your official starting lineup for the Speed Force Racing GP3 Series Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Rage Hunter on the pole, Calvin in second place, the two drivers that are going for the championship starting in 1-2. Xander in third, Martin in fourth, the Slayer in fifth, Ace Andreas in sixth, seventh is Dr. Special Energy, Simon Palmer in eighth, ninth is Surge, Titan Mauser in 10th, Hookie in 11th, J Sarge 12th, Ryan Van Doom in 13th, Bossy Gaming 14th, Oliver in 15th, the Spit Dog 16th, 17th is Adams, Vlad in 18th, 19th is Gogs. Almost a full field, 19 out of the 20 allowed cars here, and we are almost ready to go racing. So, it is now time for the final time this season. Let's get our top 3 predictions in.
It's going to be an exciting one, this.
I am going to go with our 2 obvious choices. In any order, Rage Hunter, Calvin for podium, and... oh my goodness, who else do I think? I'm going to go with Martin.
Yeah, I think that would be a good shout, because I think the last time Martin was back on the podium was in... it was back in Silverstone when he was last on the podium, so it's been 1, 2, 3, 4... no. It's been 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 races without a podium for Martin. So he needs to end this season on a high.
I would say he's overdue for a podium. I would definitely say so. So
yeah, I think Red Bull have been unlucky this year as well. Both drivers. I think.
And we got Sonic.
Shown... True.
Yep, Sonic Hawk is saying Rage, Calvin, and Surge. Sorry, Tom. I thought I lost you there for a second.
That's all right.
So now we're just waiting to actually get back onto the grid and then start our formation lap.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. All right, 5 seconds to go.
An exciting one it's going to be indeed. Of course, if those watching, if you don't already know, the constructor standings have been wrapped up for weeks now. Haas has just dominated the season, so they are the constructor standings winners. It is just the driver standings between the 2 Haas drivers that are on the line today. So Rage Hunter, Calvin, those are the only 2 drivers who can actually win the championship, and it is by a very significant margin. Third place is the Slayer in the Alfa Romeo, and he has 163 points. Calvin is in second, and he is leading the Slayer by 202 points. If that puts it into perspective, how dominant the Haas drivers have been this season.
Totally, mate, totally. I think they have totally run away with it this year, both drivers, but maybe, just maybe, there could be one final twist with it. Maybe someone beside the 2 Haas's could actually come in and spoil the party for them.
And, you know, that's very possible, because I would not be surprised if we saw these drivers just worrying about finishing ahead of their teammate rather than winning the race. Of course, they also know that if they win the race, then they're going to be champions, so there's a lot to fight for here. So while they're 1-2, they're going to worry about just staying out ahead, getting in that clean air, and getting as far away from the pack as possible. If something happens that puts them in like 4th or 5th or something like that, then it might change to where I just have to finish in front of my teammate and hope I'm able to get this championship.
True that. I think it all comes down to the race start for me. I mean, if they can, like, race start strategy, you name it, but I reckon it's going to be absolutely close coming in this season. I think we're going to be in for one hell of a finale. I can't wait for it.
Nadim Crombie, he just brought to my attention that penalties could decide the championship, as it's quite easy to pick up a time penalty here. And that is actually a good point, Nadim, and that, what an awful way to lose the championship. What happened, Andreas?
But Andreas nearly just, he went sideways but caught it.
If he's going to make that mistake, it's best to make it on the formation lap and not the actual race.
True, that's the last thing you want to happen to you.
So all the drivers finding their appropriate positions on the grid. A GP3 champion for Season 8 of Speed Force Racing will be crowned at the conclusion of this race. Will it be Rage Hunter? Will it be Calvin Racing? We have 28 laps to decide it all. All of these drivers are ready, and for the final time, you hear those engines revving, you hear those itchy pedal feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the final time for the Speed Force Racing GP3 Series at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And already in the back of the pack, there was a lot of jumping around for position. It was a Renault trying to block an Alpha Tauri. Looks like that guy cleared away.
Actually.
Rage Hunter pulls away. Calvin's still in second, but look at that. Xander making a move underneath. Martin for 3rd place. Martin in 4th. The Slayer in 5th. And there's a Mercedes. That's Ace Andreas. He's going on the inside. There's contact. Contact just maybe between the two. Alfa Romeo versus the Mercedes.
Contact again! It's all kicking off on lap 1 and it's contact yet again!
Now, remind me, is this Formula 1 or is this NASCAR? Because I think Ace Andreas has got the wrong series. You cannot rub wheels here, but somehow they've been able to do it. It is a drag race down the straightaway. Ace Andreas giving only enough room. The Slayer going around the outside. They're side by side. Ace Andreas with the advantage, though, and he has the momentum around the outside, but he spins it, he saves it. Yes, he does, and drops back to 7th now, and now it's Dr. Special Energy battling with the Alfa Romeo. Dr. Special Energy trying to go around the Alfa Romeo, not going to be able to do it. The Slayer will hold on, and look at the Racing Point Machine contact with the Racing Point Machine.
3 seconds! Oh, contact between Jason, Andreas and Serge! And Serge goes in the back of Simon Palmer as a result of that. Wow, that start got really hairy.
That was the best start I've seen in Speed Force Racing ever. That was amazing. And
wow.
Now, how many damaged wings do we have from that?
Don't know. I think Serge is probably one of them. No, he's not. He's not coming into the pits. Nobody's coming in. So it must have been relatively clean-ish. But hold on, the game's saying it's DRS enabled, but it's probably an in-game issue. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, only lap 2 of 28. DRS will be enabled next time. Calvin, though, he's starting to get close to Rage Hunter, trying to use that slipstream. Let's see if he's able to do anything down the straightaway.
J-Sarge goes down and cut. Oh my god, J-Sarge just literally cut across in front of Oliver, but had to get that position back. Now, I don't think he did that on purpose. He must have braked really late and tried to avoid Oliver getting into the back of him, so just cut across the track, but he's given that position back though, so sensible from J-Sarge in the long term.
Oh, in contact with the 2 Alfa Romeo drivers. J-Sarge gets into the back of his teammate, and he has significant wing damage. Behind them, Ryan Van Zoom and Bossy Gaming battling it out side by side. The Ferrari trying to get by the Williams. The Williams prevails, though, and now he's going to go around the Alfa Romeo. J-Sarge dropping like a rock with concrete block tied to it in the middle of the ocean. Bossy Gaming go around the outside of J-Sarge. There's some contact there, but Bossy Gaming will eventually prevail because J-Sarge has that wing damage. But I don't think J-Sarge even cares about the wing damage because he was aggressive to hang on to that position against Bossy Gaming.
Fun. And he has got wing damage as well.
Bossy Gaming going to try to regroup here and get back to Jay Sarge. Not sure if he's got any damage on his car or not. Hopefully I can get a good look at this front wing. Rage Hunter, meanwhile, setting the fastest lap as he is pacing the field. No wing damage that I can tell on the Ferrari of Bossy Gaming. Jay Sarge goes in the pits. And Ryan Van Doom, 12th, Bossy Gaming in 13th, Adams in 14th. Now let's take a look at the battle for, I was going to say the lead, but it's not much of a battle because Rage Hunter is out by 0.8 of a second, but Xander is the one who's getting close to Calvin. It is only half a second separating these two drivers.
Yes. Fair play to Xander. I think he's showing some really strong pace, but once again, his luck this season, he's had an horrendous run of luck this year. But hopefully he can get a result that can give him hope for season 9 and a new game.
And Calvin had the DRS that time. That kept him in contention to get around Rage Hunter. He was over a second behind him when they got to the DRS zone, but when they were in the detection zone, he was still within that second. So he was able to activate the DRS, and he was able to stay close to Rage Hunter, and that has kept him in contention for this lead. And now he is eating away at Rage Hunter's lead. Half a second, 0.6 of a second. It is bouncing around.
Surge got a bit snappy. Yeah, that is interesting to see because Calvin had a really good end to the second sector. Really good end to sector 2, and a really good beginning of sector 3. But he's pretty much gone back to square one because he's now 8 tenths behind Rage.
Yeah,
and already he's used so much Earth just to close the gap to Rage.
And I think it's very obvious at this point that Rage Hunter definitely does have the faster car here today. And it's going to take a lot of finagling from Calvin just to get around his teammate because if the race ended right now, we would see Rage Hunter as champion. If Calvin can get around Rage Hunter, then we would see Calvin as champion. That's just how close the points are. I do believe Rage Hunter does have the fastest lap, so that gives him an extra point on top of all that. And Calvin got lucky again with the DRS, and he has just been able to activate it.
True. He's closing. Oh, hooky down the inside of Surge, goes up into P8. Easy for the Welsh Wonder to get by the racing point. Which will soon to be Aston Martin.
Looks like Surge is going to try to go around Hooky, though. He's going to have
Hookie's got the DRS.
Oh, Hookie's got it too as well, but here goes Surge around the outside. It's going to be a tight battle.
He's not going to go.
Contact. Hooky shoves Surge over the curb.
I mean, I was on board with Surge there, but he did turn into Hooky slightly. So it might have been a 50-50. It was hard racing between the two, but no particular blame should get handed out to neither of the two.
And meanwhile, Xander has gotten around Calvin for second place.
Whoa, that is big. Big news in the championship because there's a McLaren round and it's Scar Adams. Scar Adams and Ryan Van Doom might have been involved in that because he has wing damage. Simon Palmer 3-second penalty as well, but wow! Chaos at the back. The Surge comes into the pit.
So Surge into the pits, Calvin into third. Looks like Sky Adams is trying to get back around.
Bossy nearly lost it.
Ryan
He's right behind Gogs. Yeah, but Van Doom's in the pit. Surprised Scar Adams is not coming.
So the battle that you were watching, Tom, Bossy Gaming versus Gogs, that's starting to heat up now. And Bossy Gaming should have the DRS on that racing point. Let's see if he's able to do anything with it. I think he got a better exit out of that corner, so that is really going to help him. Gogs is just a sitting duck.
Ooh. Yeah.
But it's not going to be enough. Bossy Gaming will not be able to make the move on Gogs this time. He got close, but cannot make that move stick. And Gogs actually took out the cone there on the apex.
Oh, there's a yellow flag, and it's Ryan Van Doom's gone. It was coming at the end of the first sector, and Bowser's crashed now. It's a double disaster for Williams, which practically sums up their season. I'm surprised nothing has come out yet, because both Williams is crashed out in the same spot, but within a few yards of each other.
This will be a very forgettable race for those two drivers indeed. And it's so unfortunate that they both had to wreck out. Oh, a forgettable
just
season
like in
as
real
well.
life, sadly. But yeah, look, Zander has actually increased the gap to Calvin.
Over a second separating Xander and Calvin.
Wow.
Over a second separating Rage Hunter and Xander. But now
Adams 3 seconds.
Xander's getting close to Rage Hunter, though. He has really picked up the pace. Maybe he's using a lot of ERS here.
Yeah, that is true.
So let's see, Xander might have been within the 1 second requirement for the detection zone. He was. He has the DRS. He's going to be able to gain on Rage Hunter this time. Let's see what he's able to do. He's using the slipstream, but Rage Hunter is already defending against it. And he does get a little bit closer, but I don't think it's going to be close enough. He is going to have to stick to the back of that Haas like glue. Another DRS zone coming up, but I think he just missed the detection zone.
Yeah, he's missed it. He's missed it by just a few tenths. Well, a few thousandths of a second, actually. Forgive me. But anyway.
And that is not what Xander needed at all. Xander has...
Andres goes down the inside of... He goes diving down the inside of Martin. And he has the fall behind him as a result.
Meanwhile, Simon Palmer, he was battling with Dr. Special Energy there. But now Dr.
Yeah,
Special Energy has gotten ahead of
He's
him.
getting drawn into it. Him and Simon Palmer. Maybe even Hooky. And the Slayer. And Oliver. This could be a pretty interesting battle for 4th place.
And Simon dives down into the pits, decided that he's had enough on those tires. Dr. Special Energy stays out on track, trying to give chase to Ace Andreas just ahead of him. But Ace Andreas is locked to the back of the car of Martin.
He's not giving up, is he? Oh! I thought Andreas was going to go off and have a massive accident then. Because it's so easy when you take the wrong line going through that. It's so easy to get it horribly wrong and end up in the wall, ending your race as a result.
I want to see an onboard of Ace Andreas after this race. I just want to watch the first 10 laps or so, or the first 7 laps right now, because he has slipped and slid around this racetrack more than any other driver. And look at that, trying to go on the outside of Martin for 4th place, but there was a little bit of contact. Martin prevails. Ace Andreas clips that curve, is able to hang on to it, but only just. Dr. Special Energy going around Ace Andreas now, side by side, Mercedes versus AlphaTauri, and the Red Bull's the sitting duck.
Oh, keep it clean, boys, keep it clean! Free ride! Free ride going into
the Mercedes of Ace Andreas. He sent it in there.
Wow. Ooh. Yeah. That got out of hand real quick. That gives Martin a bit of breathing room for now as Bossy gets a 3-second penalty.
And Dr. Special Energy there in 5th place trying to give chase to Martin now. I think Ace Andreas might be out of the equation for the time being.
True.
Oh, and Ace Andreas spins
no!
And he is out of this race.
Oh dear. He must have lost it. He must have... I don't know if he was on 0TC, but he might have put a bit too much throttle and just... And there was no grip, and as a result there must have been no grip on that car at all, so...
And...
Disaster for Andreas, who was having a solid race.
But here is something for
he
you to take a look at.
He's getting in and amongst it too.
With
Calvin
the safety
pitting.
car, Calvin pitted under the safety car. He was on pit lane right when it came out. Rage Hunter had already passed the pit lane. So now Rage Hunter is going to have to pit under the safety car. Calvin might be able to jump Rage Hunter now.
True. But looking at that gap, he is... Rage is... Calvin, the problem for Calvin, he is literally only 25.8. No, it's closing, but he's going to be under 26 seconds behind the leader, so I don't think he's going to have... I don't think he's going to have enough to jump Rage in the pit, but... Although it could be possible, because the pit exit it's such a long pit. It's such a long pit lane, especially at the exit, which is can be even more of a nightmare. But yeah.
So Rage will probably have to pit, I'm sure. Xander, Hooky, it just makes sense for them to pit. So that actually puts Oliver in the lead if these three drivers pit, which I'm sure they're going to do.
Rage is in.
Xander's in. And Hooky, I'm sure, will be going in. So that means that Oliver is going to be able to possibly hold on to get this lead. I'm not sure yet. Let's take a look at Rage Hunter's pit stop. He's not got to his box yet. He's in his box now. He is fitting the medium tires as expected. His teammate did the same thing. Now he is out. But when he exits this pit lane, where will he be in the running order? Hooky is in the pits.
I think he's going to be in the lead.
So Oliver pitted for another set of medium tires. So he is now on the same strategy as the leaders. Calvin is in third. You are right. You are right, Tom.
Yeah.
Rage Hunter is in the lead. Xander in second. Calvin in third. So the safety car came out at a good time for Calvin. It just was not good enough.
Yeah, that is true. Now, I think it would be interesting to see what Calvin's going to do, how Calvin's going to respond after that start, because Rage has built, not only Rage was able to build such a big lead on him, but even Zana was able to get by him as well.
I think Calvin's only hope at getting around Rage is if Xander is able to take a very tough fight to Rage, and Calvin is able to capitalize when those two drivers are running side by side.
Because as Nadine pointed out, penalties can play a massive part of this race, because it's so easy to get them around here.
But it's the Haas drivers. I'm not saying that they're immune to penalties. They certainly are not. But they are usually the guys that, if there's not going to be penalties on the board, those are the ones that don't have the penalties. But speaking of penalties, I'm glad you brought that up. You can now see the updated penalties on your screen. Simon Palmer with 3 seconds. Bossy Gaming with 3 seconds. The Spit Dog, Adams, and Surge with 3 seconds. J Sarge down there in 16th with 6 seconds.
Wow. Let me look at the penalties. Yeah, you're absolutely right. 5 drivers with 3 seconds, so that's Simon Palmer, Bossy Gaming, Spit Dog, Scar Adams, the 2 McLaren, Surge, who just went off track to avoid getting to the back of Scar Adams there. But the safety car is in this lap. Now, how do you think Rage Hunter is going to control this race restart, Tim?
Very delicately. Very, very delicately. We're going to ride on board with Xander, get a nice look at this jump by Rage Hunter. He is the control car. He gets to choose when he wants to go. And he is going to wait and catch him sleeping down the straightaway. He still hasn't went. Look at that. He is toying with him, absolutely toying with him, and now he goes. But did he get a good start? No, he didn't. And look at Simon Palmer shooting to the lead.
What a restart on Simon Palmer!
Rage Hunter in second now.
Calvin, disastrous restart as well. Martin goes up into 4th, overtaking him.
And Calvin back to 5th. Calvin did not have the start that he needed.
No, he didn't. Disaster from both Hasses, and Simon Palmer was able to get by both of them. Renault, fair play to them. I don't want to strike the commentators' curse, but they are really taking that fight to Haas today.
And I just want to say, Rage Hunter did something that I have always wanted to see a driver do, but had never have until now, and that is wait until the line to actually restart. And as you can see, it really did not work out for him the way he planned.
No, it didn't. It's very rare to see a driver do that, but it sadly didn't pay off as Dr. Special Energy gets a run on Oliver, tries to go around the outside, but couldn't. Oliver locks up, keeps the corner. What's between
Contact,
who?
Dr. Special Energy and Bossy Gaming. I saw it from the onboard of Calvin, who's dropped back to 8th place somehow. Calvin all the way in 8th, not where he needs to be at all. Bossy Gaming, Dr. Special Energy did have some contact in front of him. They are okay now. No wing damage on the Ferrari that I can tell, but that is very, very lucky for Bossy Gaming because Dr. Special Energy came right across his nose.
And both Renaults have got... Zana's got 3 seconds. That's double penalty whammy for Renault right now, who are first and third. So they're definitely going to have to rely on Calvin, Rage Hunter, to get a 3-second penalty as a result.
Now, Simon Palmer has 3 laps on his tires, where Rage Hunter only has 1. And I'm almost wondering, I've heard that with the hard tires, that they actually kind of come to life after they've already got a few laps on them rather than when they're fresh out of the box. Is it the same with the medium tires, and is that maybe why we're seeing Simon Palmer be able to pull away from Rage Hunter for the time being? Because Rage Hunter is definitely closing in on him. He had the DRS that time. That really helped him out, but it just seems like he's not able to just fly past Simon Palmer like we would expect.
Maybe. I think it all comes down to but maybe. That's all I can say. Not sure yet, but the thing is,
Rage was looking on the outside, but was not able to do anything with it.
Yeah. This is not going well for Calvin at all. Down in P8, potentially at risk of getting caught up by Gogs.
So we'll take a look at Calvin here. Definitely not the restart that he wanted. He is currently in a tight battle with Bossy Gaming to try to get around him, but cannot seem to get a run on him. Maybe he can have a chance down this straightaway. Otherwise, he'll probably just have to wait until the next DRS, which it has been enabled now.
Yeah, it's going to be risky to go down the inside in that corner. Yeah, Calvin stays behind.
And Bossy Gaming put a lot of distance between him and Calvin that time, so not going to be a move, at least until they get to the end of this DRS zone, and that's if Calvin can get a good exit out of this corner. Not sure what's going wrong with Calvin's car, but he just simply does not have the pace that his teammate does. But he has DRS here. Maybe he'll be able to get around Bossy Gaming, but he's got DRS as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive pain in the ass for pardon my French. Yeah, it's going to be a massive pain for Calvin to get past Bossy if he's still within that, under that. Bossy's done that DRS train. Oh, Bossy gets real tail happy coming out of that chicane, and Calvin does get him. Up at the P8, P7 he goes. Bossy's fighting back though. He's trying to go round the outside. Doesn't work, so he has to slot in behind him. Going to the 3-second time penalty.
And a tiny glimmer of hope.
And Rage Hunter takes the lead. Yeah. Martin on the back of Simon Palmer. So I think that my praises for Renault might have gone down the drain because of that. Because Rage Hunter was able to get on the gas really soon, but Oliver is closing up in this. He could be within a shout of a podium here.
That he could. So Rage Hunter, as you said, he is taking the lead. Then the two Renaults, Martin and Oliver, that's your top 5. Dr. Special Energy, Calvin, Bossy Gaming, Gogs, and the Slayer, your top 10, approaching the halfway mark here very, very soon. And we still have a lot of racing left to go and a championship to decide, but it's almost like it's already been decided.
True. But I think it's still a long way to go, but I think this is exactly what Rage wanted. Not only was he able to make a gap on Calvin on that before the first safety car, but despite getting a bad restart, he was still able to do the exact same thing, and it's provided even worse consequences for Calvin as well. As Martin goes up into P3, goal 6 seconds. Oh! Bossy gets spins into Gogs and Slayer gets collected in all of it! And Slayer nearly collected his teammate as well. That was going to be interesting to see what happens in the stewards.
I unfortunately did not see it, so hopefully we do have some a view of that from those drivers. But now we're watching the battle for 4th between Simon Palmer and Oliver. Oliver, he was gaining on Simon Palmer there for just a little bit, but now it looks like Simon Palmer has kicked it back into high gear. Dr. Special Energy also in this mix, and Calvin at the end of this battle as well.
True. Oh! Calvin! Oh no, he's not a 3-second penalty! Initially I thought he lost the car there, but he catches it, but because of how wide he was, he gets a 3-second penalty as a consequence.
And you were saying it earlier, Tom, that time penalties might also be a factor here. And I said that the Haas boys, they have really done a good job to not get time penalties, but it can still happen. And the almost impossible, it seems, has just happened. Calvin picked up a time penalty running in the 7th position, trying to fight for this championship, and that's a time penalty that you can't serve in the pits. So he's going to have that following him for the rest of this race.
Indeed. Sanders fighting Rage for the race lead, but Rage holds on to it though.
So Xander in that right.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in that. Yeah, he is. But Xander's problem, he has that 3-second time penalty, which he, like you say, he cannot serve in the pits. He's going to be there with you for the rest of the race.
And I'm almost wondering if Xander is just stronger than Rage Hunter in the 2nd sector, but then when the 3rd sector rolls around, Rage has the speed that he needs to stay ahead. Yeah,
that is true. I think what Xander needs to do is just stay within Rage Hunter, sorry, on the DRS straight.
And we are now officially halfway through this race and halfway to crowning a champion. But Xander wants to have a crown of his own, and that is a race win under his belt before we finish this season. Now, looking at the points for Xander, who actually seems to be in the 8th position, he has won a race already this season, but you have to go all the way back to the 3rd race of the season in Vietnam. That is where Xander was able to pick up his last win. So a win here in Abu Dhabi would do a lot for Xander's confidence and really just make him a very happy boy at the end of this.
Indeed. Yeah, I think Xander, I still see him as one of the best drivers in the division on this day, but his luck, I think it was his luck from last season onto this, which has carried on to this one, has been nothing but dreadful. But he's still hanging in there though. That's the main thing.
And also with Rage, as much as he wants to win this race, I'm sure it's going through his head that he is in a very good position to win this championship regardless. His teammate is in 7th. So if Xander's a little bit faster and Rage feels like he's taking too many risks to keep Xander behind him, he can just let Xander go and still be okay.
Maybe.
And also...
Maybe, but you've got to remember penalties as well.
Yeah, that's actually what I was about to say, is that Xander, with that 3-second time penalty, Rage Hunter could still jump him even after that. So it's almost like it's a futile battle for Rage to try to keep Xander behind him. Because if he just stays close to him, then that's enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think if Xander can be able to buy this time, then he'll get the job done sooner or later. But
and we have a big battle for the 3rd position here. Simon Palmer trying to go around Martin. Simon Palmer on the outside
line. But
and Oliver 3 wide.
Oh, he goes 3 wide
for 3rd place. And does Oliver make the move stick? He goes to 4th. Does he go to 3rd?
He's going for it.
Side by side with Simon Palmer.
Keep it clean, boys.
Not
contact!
Oh,
no! Oh, Oliver, bless him!
Oh, and look at the racing boy behind him. Who was that? Was that Serge? Yes, it was Serge's fun.
Serge.
And he's retired now.
That's going to be a safety car, surely. No, he must have... It might have been a retirement out on track.
I don't understand what happened to Serge. It didn't look like there was any damage, though.
No, I think he's probably had enough. But That could get interesting in the stewards because Oliver had a good run, got that inside covered. Simon tried to defend his position, but kind of shut the door on Oliver there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what goes down in the stewards.
Regardless, I think both drivers ran out of real estate.
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard to overtake around this track. I mean, it's not like a Monaco or anything like that because of how tight the corners are around here. It's difficult to pull off a move without getting collected in incidents. As Sardar goes out the inside of Rage, but Rage holds on to the position. Oh, it's on the spun! No! Oh no!
Oh, Xander is out, and we have the safety car.
Oh no! Oh, the commentator's curse is struck once again. Honestly, to anyone within the SFR media team watching this, please, 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 make a commentator's curse compilation for all 4 divisions this season, plus the classics, plus the reserves, and just put it all together in separate videos. It would be a pretty good watch. Oh dear.
So our new
It's all
running
kicking
order
off.
is Rage Hunter, Simon Palmer, Martin, Calvin, and Dr. Special Energy, our top 5. So, with all of the carnage, all of the beating and banging, all of the jostling around for positions, the praying, the crying, the anger, Calvin is able to get back to the lead in the safety car because Rage pitted, Simon pitted, Calvin is staying out.
True. Wow. Rage pits, Calvin stays out, so it might put him in a pretty bad spot as a consequence of that, especially. But
another big consequence that I'm thinking here is look at how impatient these drivers have been today. If Rage gets on the wrong side of that, or if Calvin gets on the wrong side of that, it's all over.
That could be curtains. Yeah, it's going to be curtains.
So, who's to say if Calvin made the right move? Me personally, I think that Calvin made the best move that he could. He saw an opportunity to get to the lead. He probably was not going to be able to do it any other way. Rage is just so fast. At least this gives Calvin a chance. Yes, Rage is on soft tires. Yes, Calvin is on semi-old mediums. But there might still be a little bit of hope left for Calvin, even with a 3-second time penalty, even with older tires, racing against his teammate.
Maybe, but the thing you've got to remember is that because of the start Rage had, and how he was able to get away with him in both the start of the race and the first restart, Calvin really needs to be on his toes to get it right on that restart. But as you pointed out, these guys have been pretty impatient today, so much on for grabs. So much up for grabs, but it's all about being smart come the end of this race, because we've got 11 to go.
Now, if you want to talk about,
we look at how old Calvin's tyres, they're 9 lap old mediums. So I don't think they're going to last long.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about a restart, don't forget what Simon Palmer did last time. And he's lining up in 3rd. However, one thing that I'm noticing that is, I think, going to be very significant at the end of this race, Rage Hunter on the softs and Simon Palmer on the mediums. Now, I am confident that the soft tires are going to be able to last the 10 laps that we have left around here. That is a given, especially since we're still under the safety car. But those medium tires are going to be able to last longer, and they're going to be stronger in the closing laps than those soft tires. So if Calvin is somehow able to stay in front of Rage Hunter and Simon is able to take the battle to Rage Hunter, that might just give Calvin enough.
Vladimir's pushed Oliver off track! Vladimir, 5-second penalty. Is Oliver going to get the same? Oh, he is. I think that might get taken off by the stewards depending on whose fault it was, but all of a sudden I saw Oliver going off track for a second.
Now, was that an intentional push, or was that just one of those deals that happens on the safety car?
It's probably one of those deals. I don't think it was anything intentional, but Oliver got alongside him, and then Vladimir didn't know he was there, and just all of a sudden it just, yeah, very unfortunate for both drivers. So hopefully it gets resolved in the right way in the stewards.
So I'm going to guess that the safety car might come in this lap. Yes, it does. So that's going to give us a 9-lap shootout to decide it all, assuming there's not another safety car in between now and the end of the race. So Calvin is going to be the control car. You saw what happened with Rage last time. He tried to play games on the start, and fair play to him. I mean, it almost worked. But Simon Palmer was watching Rage, and as soon as Rage went, Simon Palmer went. And he got around Rage to get into the lead. Now Calvin's the control car. Rage is in second. Does Calvin play the same game? Does he play a different game? Or does he just absolutely go?
Just wait and see. That's all I've got to say. Something that you can't particularly predict, but it's not entirely out of the question yet. But so far, the only 4 drivers yet to pick up a penalty this race are the following: Rage Hunter, Martin, Dr. Special Energy, and Hooky.
Now imagine.
So if Hooky can keep it, if all 4 of these can keep it on track, that's going to be our top 4.
And here we go, and I think Calvin, he just went. He absolutely went, and Simon Palmer sliding as well. So Calvin is gone. Rage Hunter trying to hang on, and now you got to remember, like you said, Tom, that 3-second time penalty that Calvin's got is going to come into play. The question is, does he have enough time? Does he have the speed to get 3 seconds ahead of his teammates? Right now, Rage is closing in on him.
Yeah. I think Calvin's going to have to defend with his life here because of how old these mediums are and how quick Rage is. Rage is around this track.
He's your friend.
But going at it.
He's your friend. He's your teammate, but he's your rival. And this is for all the money here. Calvin dove down to the inside to try to protect that inside position. He knows exactly what he needs to do. But he also knows that he needs to get 3 seconds ahead of Rage
Martin goes up in the P3. But Martin is looking to get drawn right into this here.
So Calvin, Rage, and Martin, they're battling for these top spots. Rage starting to gain on Calvin. What's he going to be able to do? Is he going to be able to go underneath him? He's just sizing him up at this point. He knows he's got fresher tires than his teammate. All Rage has to do is be patient and wait for the right moment, and then he can pounce. Calvin, meanwhile, has to make that car wider than the Mississippi River.
Yeah. How wide is the Mississippi River, by the way?
I think it's about a mile.
Fair enough.
But you got to remember, I'm remembering that from a country song, so I could be wrong. And Rage Hunter slides it, and now Martin goes around him. Martin goes around Rage Hunter.
Wow! Rage Hunter goes wide, trying to fight back. Has to slot in behind him though. As Martin moves up into second place. What a finale! We were excited heading into the build-up into this race, but we are in with a treat, and we've got exactly what we wanted today. As Rage slightly goes to the back of Martin as a result.
And Martin
Simon Palmer getting drawn in.
And Martin's getting ever so much closer to Calvin. Calvin needs to win this race to win the championship. And he has a 3-second time penalty. Martin does not. Rage does not. So Calvin needs to find speed somewhere to get further ahead than what he is. And Martin's going around Calvin. He's trying. They're side by side. Calvin's running him tight to the inside line. Martin is able to get around Calvin. Just maybe on the outside, though. Calvin is battling back and battling back hard. Calvin is able to hang on to the position for now.
And he gets a 3-second penalty, though.
Did he? Did Calvin?
Yeah, he did. No, Calvin didn't. The Energy did.
Calvin, Martin, and Rage, your top three. Calvin making that car wider than he's ever made a car in his life. A little bit of contact between Martin and Calvin. Lap 21 of 28, this decides it all. Just a few more laps to go. This is the battle for the race win. This is the battle for the championship.
DRS in territory.
And now that DRS is enabled, that might be all she wrote for Calvin. What is he going to be able to do? Martini is getting so much closer. He is there, but can he get around him? He is on fresh, soft tires. Calvin is on old, medium tires, but the longer these laps run down, the older those soft tires get.
Fighting with Palmer. But wow, there's only 3 drivers yet to pick up penalties. It's the 2 Rage and the 2 Red Bulls. But
and here goes Martin around Calvin, and does Rage Hunter go around Calvin as well? Martin goes around Calvin, Rage Hunter coming up close to Calvin, and he's going to go underneath, and they're side by side, the 2 Haas drivers for the second place.
Oh, he's got a 3-second penalty! Oh, free wide!
Calvin
free
is
wide!
So hard, and there was some contact with his
teammates. It's all kicking off in the midfield! Well, not the midfield, but the top half of the midfield. As Vladimir spins out, Hookie goes around the outside of Simon Palmer. Both of them really fighting for position here. Knowing how impatient both drivers, nearly everyone has been all race. It's all kicking off. You just cannot write this at all. You just cannot.
And meanwhile, lap 22 of 28, Calvin is 1.8 seconds out of the lead. Rage Hunter is trying to chase down Martin and win this race. But as it stands now, Rage Hunter is your championship leader, and if the race finishes as they run, he will be your championship winner for Season 8 of the GP3 series.
That's true.
It's not over yet, but you gotta think that there's just nothing left that Calvin can do. All he can do is hope that Rage Hunter spins. That is his only hope.
Bossy's got 3 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, it's looking that way, but Rage has got DRS on Martin.
He's closing quick, trying to go on the inside, but not able to make a move on him.
But Martin, he's got a better exit. He's able to pull a slight gap to him, but it's just a matter of time until Rage gets him.
And here
Martin
he goes.
Not particularly giving up.
Around the
outside. Is Martin going to go down the inside, or is he just going to fall behind him, bide his time? Simon fighting Calvin for 2nd place, but for 3rd place, sorry. Not what he wants at all. It's God's 3-second penalty for corner cutting. He's nearing a disqualification at this point.
So 3 seconds for Simon, 3 seconds for Calvin. Yeah, 24 seconds for Goggs, though.
Wow, I know. Can I look at the race director?
And I don't think it's even possible for Calvin to get a podium anymore. He's got a time penalty, so does Simon Palmer. And Rage Hunter just set the fastest lap. That is just adding insult to injury. That is rubbing salt into Calvin's wound. And he did it on the same lap that he took the lead.
Oh yeah, he did. But even worse for Calvin is that he's getting right. He's now practically prey to Hookie for Hookie to pounce on.
The Welsh Wonder going to get the DRS on Calvin more than likely, but will he be able to go around it?
Yeah, maybe.
He's
got the straight line speed though.
And there he goes around.
He's got around the outside. Hookie has to, Calvin has to slot in behind, but is Hookie going to get enough to get DRS on Simon Palmer, maybe? That last spot for the podium is still alive. There's Dr. Special Energy's gone past Calvin. This is really falling apart for Calvin this evening.
And you know, maybe Calvin should have pitted. Maybe he should have pitted for the soft tires. But if he did, he would not have been in the lead, and he probably would not have been able to get into the lead because he was battling with his team.
Oh! Scarnes gets into Calvin. But yeah, I think the reason I can see why Calvin kind of stayed out because Rage would have been in the pit anyway. So as a result, he probably wouldn't have had much of a chance to get on fresh tyres. Just simple as that.
And now Calvin is battling hard with Oliver and the Slayer. Both of these drivers trying to capitalize on Calvin's misfortune and try to get around him in these closing laps. Oliver fighting it very hard. Going to look on the inside of Calvin. They're side by side. And cuts it very close. But Oliver going to try to do a crossover move here. Goes around the outside of Calvin. Does he make it 6? Some contact with Oliver and the Slayer. Slayer gets in the back of Oliver. Oliver goes wide. But Oliver will have the DRS on Calvin. Calvin is a sitting duck. No DRS for him. There goes Oliver around Calvin and the Slayer.
Is Slayer going to come through? Yeah, he does. But Jay Sargent's going to fall in behind.
And the Slayer trying to go underneath of Oliver. Does he make it stick, though? So very tight. Close corner racing, but no contact between the two. The Slayer goes around Oliver. Move him up into the 7th position. Oliver down to 8th. And look at Calvin. He's all the way down into 10th. He is at risk of not even scoring points.
Keep fighting! Come on, keep it clean, boys! And if anything, this is giving Simon Palmer that bit of breathing room in third place as well.
And that's exactly what Simon Palmer needs because he's got that time penalty. But let's take a look at the time penalties now. He has got 3 seconds. Dr. Special Energy has 6 seconds. And Hookie has 3 seconds. So Simon Palmer might be able to get a podium at the end of this.
Maybe, but that is a very big possibility but he needs to keep it off track and reduce the warnings. But he has penalty and a warning. He's got a warning, so he might be a warning or 2 away from a 3-second penalty.
And somehow Rage Hunter has put 3 seconds between him and Martin. That just shows you how quick Rage Hunter is.
Yeah, and what a drive from Rage. I think commiserations of Calvin. Yeah.
It's not over yet, though. Rage Hunter has to put some clean laps down. So Rage Hunter, Martin, Simon Palmer, your top 3, lap 26 of 28. About to be lap 27. Rage Hunter in the 3rd sector now. Not a lot of battles going on, but it looks like Adams
on the back of Hookie.
Oh, and Hookie sends it on the inside. Contact between the two. Oh, and is Sky going to spin? Yes, he does. Sky spins. Hookie spins him. Oh, my goodness. There goes Sky Adams down there in the McLaren. So Hookie is in
12 seconds
now.
Anyway. Yeah, I think...
And
don't want to place too much blame. Energy has 6 seconds of penalty, so I think that's his chance of a podium all but gone, I'm afraid. Unless Palmer gets a penalty.
Honestly, though, I'm glad I'm not a steward because I would have to say that
would have been a tough decision.
And, I'm not saying that he spun him intentionally. It was just like we were saying, these drivers, they're getting very impatient. It's the last race of the season. They're wanting to get the best finishing position that they can. And unfortunately, I think that Adams was just a victim of that. Because Hookie, he had a run on him. He tried to go on the inside. It was very similar to what we saw with Simon Palmer and Oliver. It was in the same corner, too. And
Bossy retires in the pits.
So we're now down to just 12 drivers remaining. This is yet another race of attrition. And only 2 drivers that are running so far have not been awarded a time penalty, and that is Rage Hunter and Martin running 1 and 2. Every other driver has at least 3 seconds worth of time penalties.
Very true. But this last podium spot battle is not exactly over yet. Even though that 3-second penalty might be the big difference.
Dr. Special Energy has 6, Simon Palmer with 3. However, is there going to be any stewarding decisions made against Simon Palmer with his spin with Oliver? Is there going to be any stewarding decisions made against Hookie with what we just saw between him and Adams? That is not for us to decide. That is for the stewards to decide after the race. So the results will be unofficial. But if Rage Hunter and Martin do not score any time penalties, you can officially say that they at least finished 1 and 2 if the race were to end now. And it is the final lap of this race. We will go to Rage Hunter here in just a minute. Dr. Special Energy and Simon Palmer battling it out. There is Rage Hunter in the first sector going around the hairpin. Dr. Special Energy trying to take the fight to Simon Palmer. This is the last lap that he's going to have to do it. But even still, he'll have to get 3 seconds ahead of him to keep that podium position. Something that I just don't think.
But yeah.
Oh, and there's still contact side by side, the Racing Point and the McLaren, and it looks like Goggs is able to get around him, but Goggs has 24 seconds worth of time penalty, so the Spit Dog will more than likely be getting that position back, and he doesn't
contact
matter.
Between Simon and Energy.
And Dr. Special Energy goes around Simon Palmer for 3rd place, but now he has to get 3 seconds ahead of him before the final.
Goggs is retired. When I saw that 20, he got that 24 seconds worth of penalties.
And meanwhile,
yeah, it had disqualification written all over it, I'm afraid.
Rage Hunter is in the 3rd and final sector, going underneath the hotel now. He's only got 3 more corners left. He has put on a near perfect season and certainly a very perfect race. And around the final corner now, Rage Hunter is your GP3 champion.
What a season. And congratulations to Rage. He's been absolutely phenomenal this year, but let's not take anything away from this. But commiserations will have to go out to Calvin because he was just as awesome this year, and I think they've both been equally as deserving, but that does not take anything away from Rage. What a finale, and I've practically enjoyed every single minute of it.
And Calvin finishes in 9th place in this race, 2nd place in the championship. Haas are your constructor standings winners, so congratulations to them. But it is Rage Hunter that takes the ultimate prize of the Drivers' Champion with the race win. Congratulations to Rage Hunter. We will be talking to him very shortly. A job well done, a season well fought. And like you said, we cannot take away from Calvin. He gave it his all. He did not pit under that safety car so he could have a chance at the lead. That was his one and only chance to win this championship because Rage Hunter was just so quick today.
Yeah, I think in all fairness to Calvin, I think if he had pitted, he probably would have been stuck behind his teammate for a few seconds as a consequence.
He would have, and it wouldn't have done him any good. I think Rage Hunter would have won anyway. That's just how quick he is. But here are your official results for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Rage Hunter, your driver's champion, wins the race. 2nd place is Martin. 3rd place is Simon Palmer. Dr. Special Energy in 4th, the Slayer in 5th, Hookie in 6th, Oliver in 7th, Jay Sarge in 8th, Calvin in 9th, the Spit Dog 10th, Vlad in 11th, Bossy Gaming 12th, Adams in 13th, 14th is Xander, Surge in 15th, 16th is Ace Andreas, Titan Mouser in 17th, Ryan Van Doom in 18th, and 19th is Goggs. We will talk to our top 3 finishers here in just a moment, that being Rage, Martin, and Simon Palmer.
And we're going to bring in Calvin for this because I think this definitely deserves both drivers being interviewed in that one, but yeah.
And with the dominant season that Haas has, I agree completely.
Yeah.
We'll just give him a minute to get all the drivers in. So I know Rage is in. I know Simon Palmer's in. Do we have Calvin? Do we have Martin? There is Martin.
We've got Martin.
Does Calvin even want to show up? Because I'm sure that he is not having... Okay, he is here.
Oh,
he is here. All right, guys, so before we start the interviews, please make sure you've allowed your voice to be shared. If you don't know how to do that, go over to the party settings, click Always Allow, and let me know when you're ready.
All good, man.
Sorry, Tim, say that again.
Make sure that you have allowed your voice to be shared. If you don't know how to do that, go over to the party settings and click Always Allow.
Oh yeah, I've got that.
All right, so first things first, we are going to talk to our race winner, our driver's champion, the dominant force of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Rage Hunter. How are you so insanely quick around this racetrack, and what was it like battling your teammate there in the early laps and then eventually prevailing to win the championship over him?
It was, I've practiced a lot for this race because it's come down to the last race with me and Calvin having a 4-point gap in the championship. I just thought to myself, I've got to do a bit of practice, put in some time, and just find something that works for me. And I've done a race yesterday, it felt comfortable. Done obviously today's race, it was fine. The car setup I had was aimed at being faster later on when the tyres are wearing. So I wasn't overly concerned about losing a couple of places sort of initially. And in the safety car restart, I don't know what I was doing, but apparently I learned something today, and that you can race before the line. So you learn something every day, and yeah, to the last race, and it was a shame Calvin didn't quite have the pace at the end. I genuinely am a little bit gutted we couldn't fight a bit more, but you know, the double stacking on the game didn't allow him to stop when I stopped, and that would have been, you know, that could have been a different matter, and that just didn't work for him. But for it to be the end of the season with a few points in it, it's been fantastic. The guys in the league, thank you very much. It's been absolutely brilliant racing with you all. I've really enjoyed the season. Thank you all for being on the comms and supporting us all the way. Thank you.
Yeah.
Tom, you have any questions for Rage?
Not much, but I'd like to hear from you about that first restart, though. That's been a big talking point during the race, during the comments of the stream.
Yeah, so normally when the safety car restart on this track happens, it happens at the safety car, it tells you it's coming in at the end of Sector 2. And it came in on the second to last corner, and that sucks because I didn't have my tyres warm at all. So I was trying to bunch everyone up, and Simon Palmer obviously knows the rules better than what I do, and just went past everyone, as you do. So I thought, oh well, okay, let's get our head down and see what happens. But I didn't expect it at all. Yeah, I was concentrating in my mirrors just to see where everyone was weaving, when I was going to go, and then Simon just drove past everyone. That was it, you know. So I did get caught out there, and hey, that's a lesson for next time.
Yeah.
So now I want to go talk to our second place finisher of Martin. Martin, you seem to me like a little bit of the closer, sort of. You don't really make a lot of noise during the race, but you seem like you're there at the end. And you were there at the end today. You got the lead after the restart, and you were able to hold off Rage for a little while, but then he got back by you. Is there anything that you could have done differently to keep Rage behind you?
No, it's too quick. It's that simple. No, him and Calvin are far too quick. Today, even Xander was up there with them as well. I think those three were on a level of their own today. So yeah, there wasn't anything I could have done. Like, I had a bit of ERS that I could have used, but I thought it was pointless because in the next lap he just would have overtook me anyway. So yeah, I was just looking at securing second place because I've had so many DNFs for the last 2 months. I think I've DNF'd like 4 or 5 times, so I was just looking to finish. I didn't really want to be at the front and involved and close to the Haas like that. I kind of just wanted to let them two fight it out and not really get involved. I would hate to be the person that caused someone to lose a championship with an accident or something. But Calvin obviously didn't pit, and he was considerably slower on his tyres, so I didn't really have any choice. But yeah, congratulations to Shane. He's been fantastic all season. And massive commiserations to Calvin, because he's just been as fantastic. I mean, it's literally a cigarette paper between them all season. So I think both of them deserve credit because they've both been fantastic. And I hope they go on to GP2 and do the same. So,
Yeah. Well, brilliantly spoken, Martin, and welcome back to the podium as well.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem, mate.
So now let's talk to Simon Palmer in the Renault, and the big elephant in the room with you. Tell us about that safety car restart.
Well, first of all, apparently I didn't know I had a quali ban for this race, so my P3 is obviously going to go anyway. So sorry to everyone racing, I didn't notice it, so apologies, hands up. Congratulations on Rage as well for the championship. The restart, I simply went on, obviously the safety car line and the start line is totally different, so I went on the safety car line and everybody else was still going slower, so that's what happened now.
Well, I guess it's as simple as that. We did not realize you had a quali ban either, Simon, so that is news to me as well. So
It's gutting because I was literally jumping up and down out my fucking chair. Oh, sorry for swearing.
It's alright.
I was jumping up and down like a tit in a trance. I had a year. Well, I say year out. I've virtually missed the whole season for reasons which people know, and come back like a few races ago. Tried to get back in the swing of it again, and in practice I've done a lot of practice with my good friend Luke Bailey, who's also race engineering for me tonight, so that helped out a little bit. But yeah, it was good to be fighting at the top end. I think going on to the mediums for the final stint was the right result instead of going on to the softs. I think I would have been swallowed up a lot more going on to the softs. So all in all, it was a good race. It's just a shame about this proxy quali ban.
Well, these things happen, and we all make mistakes. But the important thing is you're here, and you do have the pace to finish P3. So that at least can keep you going forward for the next season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it obviously shows that the pace is there, whether there was a quali ban or not. I still finished P3. It was getting a bit hairy after the second safety car restart. Quite a few battles. I think there was some fair fighting going on, and elbows were getting out. But I think it was totally fair, and yeah, it just goes to show that I can battle, and hopefully it can carry on into next season.
Well, now we will talk to Calvin. And Calvin, probably not a happy person right now. You had a good qualifying run. You were second, and it looked like you had at least close to the same pace as Rage Hunter, but Rage obviously being a little bit quicker. And then you could not pit on that final restart because of a double stacking issue. So I want you to go into a little bit more detail about that, because that is news to me. I've never heard that you could not double stack.
So first off, congrats to my teammate. It's been a hell of a season. We never went into this season expecting to fight like that. We always wanted to try and challenge constructors. We managed that. But if you go back to the start of the season and ask us, it's going to be us two at the last race with 4 points of a gap. Not a chance in hell. So just want to say fair play. It's been a hell of a season. Didn't quite go my way tonight, but still I'm not going to take anything away from the really good races we've had. Yeah. And again, we've had more battles tonight, shows we can just keep that going. So next season, hopefully, it's going to be a different challenge, but we'll get on to that. And yeah, in regards to tonight, the issue with the safety car is, double stacking, is that the game just doesn't really let you do it. You can do it, but your pick crew will stand around for about 5 seconds doing nothing. so you don't end up being serviced, means you lose more time. And I thought, well, if I can, jump ahead, manage the tyres a bit, and just sort of keep it going, I'll miss out on that drop in time. But ultimately, it didn't quite work in the last couple of laps. The tyres were just too bad, and I couldn't manage them anymore, and just fell down. And I apologise, obviously, like the guys that came up past me, because I bet those first Tiffy, there's a few that probably weren't expecting to see me falling like a rock after the season we've had. So yeah, it is what it is in the end. Yeah, it's been really fun, been really enjoying it, and congrats to you guys as well for a hell of a season on the comms, and look forward to listening in next season as well.
Well, Calvin, I know it's not going to be much, but I do think that you still ran a pretty good race, and considering the circumstances you had to deal with, you did what you could. Rage was just quick, and that goes to show, that goes without saying, but like you said, you all had the goal to get the constructor standings. You did that even before I started commentating for GP3. So I think that you can at least take a little bit of a happy feeling and success in that.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. We've managed to confirm it that, our team have managed to get both the championships. Obviously, there's always going to be that disappointment where one person can't get it, the drivers won, but it's been a really good, consistent season. Personally, I've managed to finish every race, and I've finished every race in the points. So I'm really happy with the consistency of it. So yeah, we're going to try and do the same next season. Drivers, we'll just have to wait and see with pre-season testing and who comes into the divisions. So that might be a bit more difficult.
I was going to say GP1's a lot harder.
Yeah, most people leave during the season.
Yeah, we're just going to wait about the drivers one, but
sorry,
we are planning to try and challenge. Yeah. Maybe GP1 the season after, if we do well enough in this season.
Maybe. Right. Brilliantly spoken, Calvin, and head up for the season. You were absolutely awesome all season long. And I can't wait to see what seeds next season. Starting times.
Yeah, it's a chaos by the sound of it.
Yeah, it was. Was seeing so many battles in that midfield area.
And
well, hopefully next season will be just as fun.
Yeah.
I'm sweating my tits off, I know that.
Honestly, same, so yeah.
And that's me and Calvin ever race, mate. Welcome to the club.
There you go. And before we close, I do want to say to my co-com, Tom, obviously I had to step away from GP4 due to a schedule conflict, and then I'm jumping in here to GP3. And I just want to say I'm glad that I was able to work with you, and that even though it was only for a few races, it has been fun, and it has been one of the best championship battles, if not the best championship battle that I have seen in Speed Force Racing since I've been commentating. And I just want to say that I'm glad that we were able to call this race together, and that we were able to really, see a championship be decided at the end of this race. It was just so fun.
Oh, I agree. Honestly, I just want to say it was just a really enjoyable season, and it's been an absolute pleasure commentating on it. But it would not be made possible without the admins in the league. But equally as importantly, it would not be possible without the drivers. Everyone that has committed to every race, every driver that has come to the league and left, everyone that's still there, no matter whether they were front runners, moved up to the division or moved down the division, fighting in the midfield, back markers, you name it, they've all made the season on track for what it is. And I'd like to say a massive thank you to
Tom, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, just gave my terrible inspirational speech.
No, you're good. You're good. All I heard was two, and I thought that for a minute that we lost you.
No, it's all good.
But I definitely agree, you know, and there's a lot of people that, you know, work hard here at Speed Force Racing to keep this league going. And, you know, like you said, all the admins and all the commentators and all the drivers, everyone plays a part, you know, and it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what role you are, you all do play a part, and thank you so much for just making this, you know, exist. And now, I guess that is all the time that we have. So, once again, congratulations to our top 3 finishers. Congratulations to Rage on the race win and the championship. Congratulations to Calvin on being part of the constructor winning team and your wins for this season. Thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you to all the drivers who raced with us. And good morning, good evening, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. Have fun, and goodbye.